Patrick Thornton is an actor, writer, and a 2010 Butler University grad. A former stay-at-home man-child, he recently started working here at the Memorial Opera House. Although he doesn't have any children of his own, he stays busy raising his two middle-aged parents and an 87-year-old grandfather, and helping them through those awkward years between 50 and 100. His piece is entitled, Finding the Humor.
Hello, 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 mothers, and people birthed by mothers. I think that covers everybody, hopefully. I can see my own mother on the audience with a big smile on her face. I'm not sure if it's because she's happy to see me up here or because she was able to sneak a box of wine into the theater without anybody noticing. Either or. My mom taught me a lot of things growing up, but there's one thing that stands out to me, and that was that she always told me to find the humor. Humor is all around us, and even in those situations where you don't know whether to laugh or cry, Mom would always say to laugh. So, keeping that in mind, I started thinking of some of the funny things that she did, or some of the not so funny things that we still managed to laugh about. Something happened to my mom when she turned 50. She lost her mind. She will tell you this to be true. In fact, she even tells me that her transition to senility will be so seamless I won't even know the difference. Smooth as silk. Now, there's so many stories I could choose from when talking about my mom. I didn't know where to start. Do I tell the story about how she tried to catch a feral cat wearing a pair of oven mitts? My mom, not the cat. Or how she broke her ankle shopping online. Strange self-injury is kind of a reoccurring theme with my mother. It seems that she was sitting with her laptop and she had her legs tucked underneath her. And when she got up to retrieve her credit card to complete her tablets.com order, she didn't realize just how asleep her legs were and spend the next 6 weeks in a cast. Smooth as silk. Well, there's one story that I think really sums up my mom's whole take on humor, and it's a little piece I like to call Get Us in the Will. A few years ago, my Aunt Eleanor celebrated her 90th birthday. We had a huge celebration for her, but for various reasons, my mom and I weren't able to attend. And my Aunt Eleanor, being my Aunt Eleanor, never let us forget it. Every Christmas, every birthday, she would send a letter that said something like, "Dear Bob," my father, "so good to see you at my 90th birthday party. Too bad Mary and Patrick couldn't be there." Or, "It's been so long since I've seen you all, especially Mary and Patrick, since they couldn't be at my 90th birthday party." And every time my mom would say, "You know we're not going to get in the will now." Well, several passive-aggressive years went by, and these letters continued. And then one day, when I was at college, I got an email from my mom, and the subject read, "The Get Us in the Will picture." So I open it, and there's a picture of my Aunt Eleanor at her birthday party with all our family, and then I noticed something different. I had been photoshopped to my Aunt Eleanor's right, holding a glass of wine because apples and trees. And my mom had artfully photoshopped her head onto my cousin Monica's body, thus giving the illusion that we had been there the whole time. Well, my mom never showed the picture to my Aunt Eleanor, but actually my aunt passed away a few months ago. And my mom called me the day they read the will, and she said, "You're not gonna believe this. We're in the will." My Aunt Eleanor among all her worldly possessions, had left us her motorized wheelchair. But my mom, being my mom, just smiled and said, well, maybe it'll come in handy the next time I hurt myself. Talk about your silver lining. Mothers, you cannot be beat. Thank you so much. I want to thank my own mother for teaching me to find the humor in life. You are wonderful. I love you. Good night.